Alright, so this is going to be another review. This one's called Missile to the Moon, 1958. This is going to be another Z-grade sci-fi movie. Black and white, of course. It's about the same quality as Cape Canaveral Monsters. Not quite robot monster grade, but it's one of those so bad that it's good movies. The spider prop was supposed to be used in Tarantula, the great movie with John Agar, but they used it 3 years later in this movie instead, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. Um, as well as the rock people on the moon. So this is going to be a remake of Catwoman on the Moon, and which is the great uh, movie with Sonny Tufts. So of course the women are in moon leotards, and starts off with some fake scientist guy building a private rocket, and he doesn't want the government to get involved or something. So a couple of convicts escape from the local prison, I guess. They hide out in the rocket ship, and then Mr. Pseudoscientist decides that he's going to use force to get these two guys to help him blast off to the moon. And his two friends are stowaways because they're looking for him. Some lights go off, and so they go snooping around the rocket ship. They end up going to the moon. The pseudoscientist guy dies, and so there are four people left: the two convicts and the fiance and her future husband. I guess they work as in the scientific realm also. Astrophysics, I guess. And so they get hit with a meteor shower. The pseudoscientist dies. He gets hit with some kind of towel shelf or something. I don't know what it is. And he ends up dying. He gives an amulet to the male fiance guy, and he tells him to go to a specific place on the moon, which he does, and it just happens to be where the Catwoman remake ladies are in their moon leotards, and they're ruled by this blind lady who thinks that the fiance guy Drake is actually the pseudoscientist, and at that point we learn that the pseudoscientist is actually an alien from the moon who is looking into the possibility of colonizing Earth, and so the leader determines somehow that the Earth is inhabitable for moon women. It's unclear why men don't exist on the moon until the Earth people arrive, but one of the cat women falls in love with the convict. So one of the other cat women plots to kill the leader, and then she wants to marry the fiance guy. I think his name is Drake or something. And so there's this ridiculous spider, and I told you about the rock people. Immediately when they land, you see these ridiculous looking rock costumes. Looks like a really bad B-movie prop. And I think one reviewer said you can see their noses poking out. I couldn't see that. But this person on IMDb was saying that the rock people look like giant rock gummy bears. And so pretty ridiculous. They move around real slow, but they're supposedly menacing. Same as a spider. Looks like a paper mache kind of pinata kind of deal. And then, yeah, the budget for this movie was $65,000, which was probably a lot of money back in 1958 for a B movie. I believe it was on a double bill with another movie called Frankenstein's Bride or something like that. Something Frankenstein, and probably by the same director, who I'm not too familiar with. So the evil backstabber, quite literally, Catwoman, who becomes the leader, the new leader, has this marriage ceremony going on. She puts a spell on the Drake guy, and he agrees to marry her. But the good Catwoman intervenes. She puts a spell on the evil Catwoman, and then she releases all of the oxygen from the atmosphere. So I don't want to spoil too much of the ending, but basically she kills herself to save her boyfriend. The guy kisses her, which is her first kiss. She doesn't know what's going on, and she gets all excited about this guy. She wants to die for him and stuff. So pretty cool flick, inane dialogue for sure. At one point, the good leader says, "You didn't remember that I was blind." And then Drake says something like, "Well, I'm sorry to see that you are," which is kind of awkward dialogue throughout the movie like that. Unintentional humor, I guess. And definitely a Ed Wood type flick, but not as bad. Not as bad as Phil Tucker or Ed Wood. But it gets a pretty low rating on IMDb, a 3.6. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. I love this flick. And I'll post the trailer and or the movie in the description box for you shortly. I'm on my graveyard shift. Somebody just decided to park in my driveway. He gave me the key, but she said it was going to be back in 10 or 15 minutes. That was 45 minutes ago. So I'm kind of waiting for him to come back. This big bus just pulled up. So it's kind of loud. Sorry about that. But highly recommend it. This was on disc 5 of Rocky Jones. Like I said in my previous video, disc 5 has absolutely nothing to do with Rocky Jones. It's got Missile to the Moon movie, the Christopher Lee documentary on sci-fi movies, and it's got the Flash Gordon TV show from the 50s. So looking forward to watching the bonus disc. The sound quality is much better on these 3 bonus features, and but still, I love Rocky Jones Space Ranger, even though you have to crank it up and get some decent earbuds to hear the dialogue. on that. Warned Adrian about that. So yeah, I heard the Australian dollar was in a downward spiral. So sorry to hear that Australia isn't doing too well economically in that regard. But in any case, um, that's about all I know. I'm not too familiar with Australia, although I did see a Werner Herzog movie about the Aborigines there. Wasn't that great? I wasn't impressed by it. But anyways, enough about that. Um, just waiting for this guy to come pick up his car. It's been taking forever. And, so I'll definitely watch the Christopher Lee documentary and then Flash Gordon TV show, followed by Big Top Pee Wee.